Joining us now is Justice Deepak Gupta, former judge of the Supreme Court. Many thanks, Justice Gupta, for speaking with us. So first of all, today the Supreme Court has come down heavily on Nupur Sharma, saying that she is, and I'm quoting the court here, single-handedly responsible for what is happening in the country, unquote. The question many are asking, sir, is while the court has taken a stern view, should it have come and stepped in earlier and more forcefully, because we've seen a pattern in rising hate speeches and no real action against it on the ground?
See, I don't think so. The court can start taking suo moto action on matters like this. Having said that, when the matter reached the Supreme Court, the honorable judges, especially Justice Surya, made some very telling remarks, which have been reported widely, and I don't want to say anything further. See, for me, what is sad and very, very worrying is that whether it's spokesmen of parties, and I'm not talking about Nupur Sharma alone, I talk about a lot of people across the board, they just don't think twice before saying what they are going to say. And that goes for some news channels also, aggravating the situation. You know, everything doesn't have to be blown up. Even if somebody makes a remark, or if something untoward happens, everything doesn't have to be blown up. We live in a society where, unfortunately, tolerance is going down. We live in a society where religious egos are very easily hurt. And in these circumstances, everyone should be careful of what remarks they make, and they shouldn't just make off-the-cuff remarks without realizing what the consequences are.
So, word of advice there from Justice Deepak Gupta. Sir, but should Nupur Sharma have been arrested by now, as many have demanded, especially after today's observations? And what steps can be taken to curb hate speech?
See, she made some very unfortunate remarks against the Prophet, which he should not have made. But I fight for human rights. Even yesterday in an interview, I said, even she should not be arrested. Okay. But then the same scale should be applied to the other side. Mr. Zubair was arrested for a much lesser tweet. And Nupur Sharma has not been arrested. And that is why the Justice Surya made those very telling remarks that don't make us open our mouth about what the Delhi police is doing. That the Delhi police arrests Zubair for a tweet which for me is much, much less dangerous than what was said by Nupur Sharma.
So then, as you are already, mentioning what the court said with regards to Mohammed Zubair's case, does that put a question mark clearly on police action?
Yes, it does put a question mark as to whether they are moving fairly, or whether they are, one side, the George Orwell's book 1984, some people are more equal than others. So is Nupur Sharma more equal than Zubair? How can that be? If we believe in the rule of law, then that should not be the position.
So there's also been a worrying backlash that's been seen on social media today. There's a section that is accusing the Supreme Court of playing to the gallery. These are because of the observations made. Some of them, in fact, have gone a step further. They have indicated that it's pandering to a certain side. How would you respond to these remarks that come through on social media specifically?
These are unfortunate and uncalled for remarks. These very people, if you see the social handles, I'm not on Twitter or anything, I'm not much of a social media, but I'm sure if somebody does a research, when these very two same judges passed an order which suited the powers that be, and which was also in accordance with law in the Maharashtra case, then these same very people were tweeting pains about these judges, that you cannot have better judges. But today when remarks are made, and I think these remarks were really called for. If the oral remarks of a judge also sometimes carry a lot of weight. And I hope they do carry, and the head of the Delhi police is listening to what the Supreme Court said today. And they start acting in a very fair manner. One is not saying that if A is guilty or B is guilty, don't take action against them. Please take action. But that action should be taken evenly against all people who are guilty of hate speech, and not a policy of pick and choose should not be followed.
Sir, would you say that much of this, these remarks that we've seen, or what we're calling the backlash today on social media, is an outcome of the fissures that we are currently seeing in the society?
See, we become a very intolerant society. We are not willing to listen to any even slight jokes about each other's religion or caste or anything. Even I am very careful, even when I'm with close friends, on whether I should say something which today is termed politically incorrect. Even though about 5 years back or 10 years back or 20 years back, I could have, I just put it to you. Guru Nanak went to Haridwar, and when everybody was, pouring water for their ancestors, he turned his back toward the Ganges and poured water. And when somebody made fun of him, he said, I'm watering my fields. And when they laughed, he says, if your water can reach your ancestors, why can't my water reach my fields? Similarly, when he went to Mecca and slept with his feet towards Mecca, somebody asked him to turn around. He says, tell me where God is not there, and I'll put my feet on that side. So, but today, if Guru Nanak was to come back and do the same things, he would be vilified in social media. He would probably be arrested if he went against the majority religion. You see, how does society progress if we question old rules? Reformers, whether it's Raja Ram Mohan Roy, the founder of the RS March, Dayanand Saraswati, said that he did not believe in idol worship because he found a mouse stealing the laddus from the murti. But today, if somebody was to say that, there'll be a hue and cry, and that he would be. I think we just lost this. It's very sad. We have to come back and revert to a more, rational debate. A debate where we argue in a civilized manner, where
Absolutely.
I can say, I disagree with you, but I will protect your right to disagree with me as forcefully as I can.
All right. On that note, sir, many thanks, Justice Deepak Gupta, for joining us here on the show.
Thank you very much.